Dark Tales Shorts 101 The Forest Creature Legend. Welcome back, everyone, to Dark Tales Shorts 101. Tonight's story comes from ancient Hmong folklore, passed down through generations, long before roads, electricity, or modern cities existed in the mountains of Southeast Asia. These stories were never written in books. They were carried by elders, whispered beside firelight, and told to travelers before entering the deep forests. Among many Hmong clans, there has always been a terrifying warning. If you ever travel through a dark forest, never go unprepared. The elders believed there were creatures hidden deep within the wilderness, creatures that hunted human beings. And according to the stories, there was one creature feared above all others. A massive, black, humanoid being, a creature with no knee joints, a creature that walked stiffly through the forest, yet could outrun a man on flat ground. A creature that did not simply kill, but waited for permission from the sky before feeding. Whether these stories are true, or simply ancient warnings meant to protect travelers, nobody truly knows. But tonight, I'm going to tell you one of the most disturbing legends ever shared among the Hmong people. So sit back, relax, and listen closely. And if you enjoy terrifying folklore, supernatural encounters, and dark stories inspired by legends passed down through generations, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dark Tales Shorts 101. Now, let us begin. Long before roads existed, before vehicles, before electricity reached the mountains and forests of Southeast Asia, the Hmong people traveled on foot through endless wilderness. Villages were separated by valleys, rivers, and dark forests so dense that sunlight itself could barely reach the ground. Every journey carried danger, wild animals, sickness, starvation, and according to the elders, things far worse hiding deep within the woods. Among the old Hmong clans, there was a warning passed down generation after generation, a warning so old that nobody truly knew where it began. If you ever had to cross a dark forest, never travel unprepared. The elders would tell travelers to cut 2 pieces of thick bamboo, hollowed tubes large enough to wrap around both wrists. The bamboo was not meant for tools, not meant for carrying water, but for protection against something ancient that wandered the forest. The creature had many names among different Hmong clans. Some described it as a forest spirit. Others believed it was a demon cursed to roam the mountains forever. But all the stories shared the same terrifying details. It walked on 2 legs, like a human, but its knees never bent. Its legs were stiff and unnatural, forcing the creature into a strange, clumsy movement as it wandered through the forest. Yet despite its awkward appearance, it could move frighteningly fast when chasing prey on flat ground. The creature was said to be covered in soft black hair, with long arms hanging almost to the ground, and pale lips that stretched unnaturally across its face. Some elders claimed its eyes glowed beneath moonlight. Others claimed nobody survived long enough to truly describe its face. And according to the old stories, the creature loved human flesh. But it did not kill immediately. When it captured someone, it would grip tightly onto the victim's wrists and enter a strange, frozen state. Its lips would slowly wrap inward across its face while it stared silently up into the sky, waiting. The elders believed the creature was asking permission from the sky spirits before feeding. If the sky darkened with clouds or thunder rolled overhead, the creature would release its victim and flee into the forest. But if the sky remained clear, the person would never return. That is why the bamboo tubes were important. When the creature grabbed someone wearing bamboo around their wrists, It would unknowingly grip the bamboo instead of flesh. And while the creature entered its strange trance, the traveler could slip free and escape before it realized the deception. Long ago, two brothers prepared to leave their mountain village in search of another distant town. In those days, people traveled by foot through valleys and forests for days, sometimes weeks, guided only by memory, rivers, and worn jungle paths. The brothers had heard rumors of another village beyond the mountains where many young women lived. Hoping to find wives and begin families of their own, they packed what little food they had and began their journey before sunrise. The older brother respected the old traditions. Before entering the forest, he stopped beside a cluster of tall bamboo and carefully cut two thick, hollow sections. He tied them securely around both wrists using strips of cloth. The younger brother laughed. "You still believe those old stories?" he asked. The older brother avoided eye contact. "My belief changes nothing," he replied quietly. "But the elders warned us for a reason." The younger brother shook his head and continued walking. As they entered the forest, the air itself felt wrong. The trees grew taller and thicker until the sunlight nearly vanished. Strange insects screamed from unseen places in the darkness. The deeper they walked, the quieter the forest became. No birds, no wind, only the sound of their footsteps. Hours later, the younger brother began noticing strange things along the trail. Broken branches high above them, footprints that looked almost human, but too large and unnatural. And a terrible smell drifting through the woods, damp, rotten, almost like wet fur mixed with decay. The older brother whispered for them to keep moving. Then, suddenly, something crashed violently through the forest behind them. The brothers turned just in time to see a massive, dark figure burst from the trees. It moved on two legs, tall, broad, covered in black hair, and its legs did not bend. The creature charged toward them with horrifying speed, despite its stiff movements. Every step sounded wrong, like heavy wood striking against the ground. The younger brother screamed. Both brothers ran. The older brother immediately sprinted uphill through thick brush, remembering the elder's warnings. Creatures without knees struggled climbing steep slopes. Behind them, they heard the thing crashing violently through the trees. The younger brother panicked and stayed on the main trail, running in a straight line through the valley floor. That was the mistake. The creature was faster on flat ground. Within moments, the older brother heard his younger brother screaming somewhere behind him. He turned just long enough to see the creature grabbing onto the younger brother's arms. The older brother's own wrists were seized briefly as the creature reached toward him too, but its hands closed around the bamboo tubes instead, just as the elders described. The creature froze. Its lips slowly curled inward over its face, while its head tilted upward toward the sky. The older brother slipped his hands free from the bamboo and ran uphill into the darkness without looking back. He ran until dawn. When he finally reached the distant village, exhausted and covered in mud, he begged the village elders for help. A search party returned with him to the forest. By the time they found the younger brother, he was already dead. His body lay beside the trail, untouched. No flesh missing, no signs of struggle. Only two deep puncture wounds beneath his right armpit. And according to the elders, his body contained almost no blood. The older brother never traveled through the forest again. And even generations later, elders still tell travelers to carry bamboo around their wrists when crossing dark wilderness alone. Not because they know the creature is real, but because somewhere deep within the old forests,
some legends refuse to die. Thank you all for listening to tonight's story here on Dark Tales Shorts 101. If you enjoyed this terrifying tale inspired by ancient folklore and dark legends passed down through generations, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more horror stories, supernatural encounters, and chilling mysteries from around the world. And remember, not every old warning is meant to scare children. Sometimes those warnings exist because somebody survived long enough to tell the story. Until next time, stay safe and never travel through the dark forest alone.